Pounding the meat. We are live, baby. What is good, people? It's a beautiful Thursday night, and I got a stud of a guest, man. One of the greatest villains of all time. In life. Not just in pro wrestling, not in reality television, in life. I'm telling you. Ethan, I'm sorry. I love you, you know that. But I had to go old school with the whole setup. You'll be back next week, though. Promise you. Platinum, how are you? Rob, how are you, man? What's going on? Nico, how you doing, baby? Wrestling Bonkers, welcome to the show. Definitely a throwback, man. Joey in the market now. He's a free agent. This is actually an old intro, bro, but thank you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a special night. It's a different night. Okay, this is mainly a pro wrestling centric podcast, but we're gonna mix it in with some Survivor. Now, this guy, he is no stranger to pro wrestling. He is a pro wrestler himself. All right, and he's been with some of the best in the business. He's worked for a big name wrestling company, but most of all, greatest villain of Survivor of all time. Of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm going to bring him out now. He is the Harry Rolex wearing. All right. Harry Rolex wearing, and you'll hear what that's about. Best villain of Survivor of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Mr. Jonny fucking Fairplay.
What up?
What is going on, baby? How you doing? Welcome.
I'm doing good. I was listening to a little vinyl before we started. I got a couple gimmicks around here. So thanks for having me. This should be fun.
Welcome to Pounding the Meat.
Yeah, that's usually me around 1 a.m.
Now, when I messaged you from that account,
yeah,
you saw Pounding the Meat. Did you get a little excited? What
no.
was your reaction?
No. I was like, "Where's the block button?" I was like, you obviously have me confused with Jonny Fairplay. I'd imagine he does low budget porn somewhere.
I should look into maybe changing the social name when I reach out to people. How's everything going, man? How you been?
Great. Finally had the airing of my Judge Steve Harvey episode Tuesday night, ABC primetime, 8 p.m. Eastern. 4 million viewers live.
Wow.
Who knows how many on Hulu starting yesterday. Went head to head with NXT. My good friend Grayson Waller over there, another Survivor guy, Australian Survivor. He had 700,000, 4 million. It's close.
You're killing it, bro. Listen, shout out to the ratings, bro.
I got love for Grace. I got nothing but love for Grace.
But you're the star, Jonny. Come on now. You know,
well,
it's good to be humble. It's good to be humble. But listen, when you're in a courtroom, anything's possible. All right, I saw the show last night. It was great.
I'm undefeated in court. I mean, I had the craziness last year with an insane family member, and that it was so nuts because like there was nothing to the whole deal. But this family member wanted to embarrass me and my mom. Yeah. And my mom took one of the most beautiful mugshots I've ever seen in my life. And then my mugshot, I did over $10,000 in T-shirt sales. And then I go to court, and they drop the charges, pull it back. They did a null pros, which actually removes it that it was ever a charge, and then apologized. And I was like, wow. I was like, can we do this every year? Because there wasn't a single publication worldwide that it didn't make the news. And
it was crazy. I was researching you, and I was like, holy shit.
And so I'm contacting, because you never know when I'm not counting on another Survivor. I've done 2. There's going to be a Legends down the road, and I know that call's coming. They're talking Australia versus US Survivor,
okay.
In Australia, and that. So, but I mean, I've done over 80 television shows, so that's not a check that I'm counting on or need. But I'm just like, let me just make a call to make sure this ain't fucked up, and they're just like, I was like, hey, you know, and they're like, Johnny, we got a question. I was like, sure. They're like, what family member is it? You know, like, we know it's just a fucking crazy disgruntled fan. And I was just like, aunt. And they're like, who had aunt? Like they had a pool, office pool going. And I was like, does this fuck up anything? And they're just like, fair play. It just drove your stock even higher. They're like, think about it. There's been over 600 survivors. And then, you know, they're on season 42 right now. There's been over 600 survivors, most of which, if this were to happen to, wouldn't make their local paper.
But you're Jonny fucking Fairplay.
They're like you made South Africa, you know, Malaysia news, UK. Like they don't even like Survivor in the UK, and I made the
and you made the news.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and I think it's because, you know, Johnny was the whole dead grandma thing. For those of you who haven't seen Survivor, have lived under a rock, Johnny. Basically, they have these reward challenges.
The loved ones challenge.
The loved ones challenge, right?
See, I had never seen Survivor prior to being cast. They just found me in LA.
Yeah, so what happened? How'd they grab you for this gig?
All right, so I'm living in LA, and my buddy hits me up, and he goes, "Hey, do you want to go to this Von Dutch party?" And I'm like, I'm sitting poolside. I'm like 8 Coors Lights in. I'm like, dude, I ain't driving anywhere. He's like, hey, this chick I'm talking to, she lives down the street from you. She'll pick you up. So she picks me up. She goes, I need to stop for gas. I'm like, okay. So she's Mercedes convertible. She stops for gas. She's pumping gas like a woman should. I go to the corner to have a smoke. I'm kidding. But it makes for a better story. So I go to the corner to have a smoke, and this white Volvo locks up the brakes, and she goes, you mind if I ask you a crazy question? I'm like, you're hot. Why not? She goes, you ever watch Survivor? I go, no, they're a bunch of fucking losers. She goes, I'm the casting director. I go, that sucks for you. She goes, I'm offering you a 1 in 16 chance at $1 million. I'm like, whatever. She goes, I think you'd be perfect. I go, tell me something I don't know, honey. She goes, that's it. You're on. And that was it.
That's it.
That was it.
You didn't even apply for this thing.
Didn't even apply. So had to make the tape afterwards just so they had something to put on CBS.com. And I can't, you know, I was like, I'm, 5'8", 120 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal and 8 inches of dangling fury or something like that. They're just like, Jesus Christ. So, but everything I do, I'm prepared and I go into it full throttle. So once I got cast for Survivor, I went down to Catalina. I became skin diver and scuba diver certified. I was living at the base of Runyon Canyon. Like the Miz ended up moving into my building like right after Survivor. I was doing Runyon Canyon twice a day. Like I'd see Sheryl Crow every morning and Bob Barker. And
you were prepping for this shit. You were taking this serious.
And I'd never seen the show, so I ordered every episode off eBay, every early show interview in which they explained why they felt they were voted out. I watched every season twice, and then every time I got to Loved Ones Challenge, I would cry. I can remember just like, oh my God, this is something emotional.
Yeah, it's an emotional part.
And so I'm watching, I'm just like, how can I use this to my advantage? Because I'm an asshole. And if I'm crying, there's got to be a way that I can fucking use this. So the season before mine, Jenna Maraska's mom was dying of cancer. And so it wasn't the Loved Ones challenge, but it was actually the food auction where everyone lost the last part on purpose. So Jenna could get a letter from home to find out how her mom was doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it. What's more sympathetic than a dying mom? A dead grandma.
Dead grandmother.
So what most people don't know is day one, everyone goes, who's your loved one? I go, mine's my grandma, but CBS are assholes. They made me list a backup. And, I list my buddy, but, fuck that. Like, if my grandma's not here, that's not good. So I don't want to list a backup. Like, I want my grandmother to be here. So every night around the campfire, we'd hold hands. They'd pray for my grandmother.
So you were prepping for this shit. You
knew
exactly what you were going to do.
So the dead grandma lie is like day 30. And so when my buddy comes around the corner and doing the fucking Jeff Jarrett fucking strut, I'm laughing and everyone else is like, oh no, his grandma didn't make it. So what most people don't know, when he comes in for that hug, he goes, Roddy Piper got fired from SmackDown. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Tell me my grandma died. And he goes, did you get the letter? And I'm like, yeah, because we get the fucking mail here. I'm like, no, I didn't get it. He goes, dude, she died, dude. And I'm like, can you work in 18 more dudes just to fucking sell this a little more? And they bought it. They fucking bought it.
They did. Everyone was crying. Yeah, they wanted you to have the spot.
Production is on satellite phone trying to fly me out for the funeral.
Wow.
Because I'm like, I don't know what happened. I just need to get some information. And I fucking lose it right there. And just to fucking sell it.
Yeah.
And so production's buying it. And what I didn't know, and I just found this out like a few months ago, like there's a Weird Al Yankovic podcast, and they had a producer on. And he's like, oh, this fucking Jonny Fairplay guy. But like, he goes, when Jeff found out, he was ready to blow up my spot and be because they were just like, Jeff, we called home, we got the grandma on the phone.
No, so he knew.
So what he felt like during the challenge, they give him the Iggy. They're just like, he's fucking lying. So he's ready to blow up my spot, and they're like, no, they're like, you can't do this. This dude's game.
Yeah.
And like, think like that's one of the biggest, like in the fucking National Museum of Television History for reality television, there's a loop. That's what they show. That is reality television. That loop of that.
Did he not like you? Did you guys get along?
No, we used every challenge. I'd walk. You go, come on in, guys. I go, fuck you, pro. He goes, fuck you, Fairplay.
No.
Every challenge. Yeah, we hate each other. So we're cool now.
You're cool now.
Yeah.
Dude, Pro.
I mean, I was fucking.
He's a savage motherfucker sometimes, man. He be getting in some lines, some jabs with these people.
But I mean, honestly, I was 30 years old. I was single. I was living in Los Angeles. I was going to all the hot clubs. Like, life could not have been any better. And then you're throwing on so. Prior to my season, like the first season of Survivor was like number 1. It had dropped to, I think, number 3 in the ratings. So the number 1 show in the world each week, not just for the night.
This was 2003, right?
2003. The number 1 show in the world was CSI. And
wow.
I think number 2 was Friends. And then number 3 was Survivor. So I show up for my season of Survivor. And when me and Thunder D, we do the Dead Grandma Lie, we do the big reveal. And it's like, my grandma's sitting home watching Jerry Springer right now. So we're talking, I come there and just like, so what's going on? And he's just like, he goes, is this a fucking pirate themed season of Survivor? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, dude, get ready. And I'm like, what? He goes, the number 1 movie in the world is Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirate shit is fucking huge.
It's off the charts.
And I was like, what about the Incredible Hulk movie? He goes, it's a fucking dud. No one's talking to Hulk. And I was like, oh shit, are you serious? He's like, yes. And so it was the number 1 show. It was the number 1 show for the night, every single episode until the Dead Grandma Lie. And that was the number 1 show in the world for the week. And every week after, we took over the number 1 show in the world for the week, not for the night, for the week, for the rest of the series. So
shout out to the Dead Grandma.
Yeah, it started with the Dead Grandma Lie, and then after, people just wanted to watch me go home, and I'm like, keep watching, motherfucker, I ain't going anywhere.
That's what people want to see. They want to see the train wreck. They want to see, the drama.
Well, they want me to see me get my comeuppance.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? I am proud of you, John.
Thank you.
You took advantage of a situation and you made it work.
Yeah, I mean, my heroes growing up were Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Andy Kaufman. I mean,
so you always wanted to be a heel.
Always. When I grew up, I'm here now. I'm in Danville, Virginia. Mm-hmm. I lived in Los Angeles for 8 years, and I have 2 kids, and so I didn't want to raise them out there. So I'm back here. You can get a lot of shit here in Danville, Virginia for a little bit of money. And if you got a lot of money, you can get a whole lot of shit. So that's okay. When I was a kid, I grew up in Danville, and the Greensboro Coliseum was 45 minutes from my house. So my dad would take me to the Greensboro Coliseum like every month, like at age like 4. Right. To watch wrestling.
So you were always a wrestling fan.
Always, like back then it was Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, and so I'd go, and my dad told me at age 4, he goes, root for the bad guys, the good guys are pussies.
Yeah, so heels, I mean, back then heels were so much better. Now, I don't even consider it face and heel anymore.
I don't even know. I mean, it's crazy because I get free tickets from WWE and AEW, and I play along. I mean, if there's a bad guy in the ring, even if it's my friend, I'll ask them, and the good guys, I'm just like, yeah, you keep being good. You do that.
What do you think of MJF though?
Yeah, he's good. He's very good. You know what? It took me a while because there was at the beginning there was so much cheap heat to it, and I'm just like, I get it, but show me a little more, and he has. I mean, that. I think he knew what he had, and I think he needed the ability to do more, and has they gave him a leash, and they're just like, go out there, and every time he was successful, that leash got a little longer.
Right.
So and like right now, I think him and Roman Reigns are the two best heels in wrestling for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, Roman, ever since he went heel, I agree with you. It
Yeah.
really changed the whole outlook of Roman. Everyone hated Roman Reigns. His was go away heat.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
They don't even want to see you.
yeah,
But now they want to see him.
yeah.
but
And he's
they
so
won't.
it's crazy. I went to one of the first shows post COVID. They did a show in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was a super show, and I think it was, I want to say, John Cena and the Mysterios versus Roman and the Usos was the main event. It was a cross promotion super show deal, whatever. And Roman the entire time, like, this is a house show. I mean, and so I mean, you can really phone it in if you want to.
Right.
This motherfucker is picking out people, like, on the second row and the third row and the front row, and fucking it's just like, I can fuck your girl twice as hard.
Get the hell out of here, bro.
So, and I'm
That's
just
amazing.
like, that's the little heat that, like, because when you do that to that guy, you got all the guys around them going, I don't want him to say that shit to me.
Yeah. See, I didn't
Because he
think
could.
Roman would do that. Wow.
So yeah,
That's great.
no, he's evolved his game so much. I mean, and I think a lot of it was there, and then of course, Paul Heyman.
Exactly. And let me tell you something. All right, now after Survivor and the success of your season, all right, I'm sure you're getting phone calls left and right.
Yeah.
You're the hottest commodity coming out of Survivor in the last few years.
Well, while Survivor was still on the air, I'm talking with WWE and TNA.
Oh, while it's on the air.
While it's on the air.
Holy shit.
Actually, WWE.
Who called you from WWE?
Everything was done through my manager.
Got you. Okay.
So, like, the only time I finally got on the phone with anyone was the week before I showed up in TNA. So, but prior to that, so WWE offered me from deciphering. So my manager, she's a female that doesn't watch wrestling and does, so she's taking notes as she, during these conversations. So from what I gathered, WWE offered me a spot at WrestleMania that year, and it would have been
WrestleMania 19, I think, was it?
What's that?
Maybe? WrestleMania 19?
It's 2004.
Oh, so it's 20, I believe.
Yeah, so I think that's
20.
Madison Square Garden, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the two options that were proposed were, it was a match, me versus the Divas at Mania. And because I was doing the whole Andy Call, like, the last 6 people are me and five women, and
Right.
and I'm doing when it comes to peeling potatoes and scrubbing the floor, women are superior, but when it comes to things like thinking, men are vastly superior. Unless it's a getting pregnant contest, I'm not going to lose. That's the only So I'm doing literally line for line Andy Kaufman, which is so amazing because after the fact, Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul gets my number from CBS, and he's just like, dude, you're fucking doing Kaufman line for line. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, he knew.
And he was just like, this fucking gold.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the pitch was either A, me versus the Divas at Mania, or B, I was going to be revealed as Trish's sleazy boyfriend in the whole Christian Jericho thing.
That's amazing, bro.
So they offered from
what they all. Yeah, I was gonna say what they offer you.
I want to say $80,000, and it was a 3-month deal, and part of it was 3-month deal, $80,000, and part of it was they wanted my name.
Whoa! Wait a second. Oh, so Vince McMahon is known for that. Give me everything you got, including your name. Now, would they keep it just for those months?
I don't know. As I said, so that's their offer.
Gotcha.
So then TNA calls, and they're like $300,000. 2-year deal, 1 bump a year, first bump 6 months after you get there.
Okay, so you didn't have to take a bump for 6 months.
100% creative control over my character.
Holy shit.
So I was like, so my manager calls, I'm like, I'm interested. And they're like, will you talk to this guy named Jeff Jarrett? And I'm like, sure.
Jeff Jarrett, double J.
So I talked to Jeff, and he goes, hey, man, this is going to be good. And I'm just like, all right, well, who am I managing? He goes, you ain't managing nobody. You just going to be the biggest bad guy there. And I'm just like, well, you don't need to wrestle. And I was like, but I thought you were the biggest bad guy there. No, man, this is going to be good. You're going to like it. And I'm like, all right. so so then they faxed over the contract, and they wanted to advertise me the week before. They're like, we need Johnny to sign the contract.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll just sign it when I get there. And they're like, we need him to sign it now. This is during the pay-per-view. Like, this is when they were doing the weekly, Wednesday night pay-per-views.
Right.
During the pay-per-view, they're on the phone with my manager and me, conference call. And they're just like, we need this signed now so we can run the promo at the end of the pay-per-view.
Oh, wow.
And so it's me, my manager, and Bob Ryder. And we hear Dixie in the background. She goes, give him whatever he wants. Make this happen right now.
Dude.
And so me and my manager both, and my manager goes, we'll call you right back. She goes, what do you want, Fairplay? I'm like, I want insurance.
Oh, big one.
I want another cell phone.
Okay.
They pay for.
Okay.
Like another line, completely different line.
That's your burner phone, your business line.
Yeah. And 4-star or above hotel, first class airfare.
Look, yo, let me give you a report. Yo. Working TNA.
I mean,
and so it was $300,000 for 2 years.
Yeah.
Medical insurance, which is a big one.
Yep.
All right, that's a big one.
Huge.
No bump for at least 6 months.
Yep. 100% creative control.
100% creative control.
Yes, sir.
And a cell phone and a 4 or 5-star hotel. Dude, you're living the life. You're probably making more than all those guys in the locker room.
Combined.
Wow. Okay. All right. So now
that's where a problem comes into paradise.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing some problems coming up now.
So I show up the next week. So we sign, they agreed to everything. I signed the deal. So I show up the next week. The day before, my contract, all of it, all the perks, everything leaks on OneWrestling.com, owned by Bob Ryder.
Wow.
I wonder where they got it from.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get there and they're like, fuck this dude.
You think he did that on purpose because he didn't like what you were? He'd probably making more than everybody.
No, I don't. I just think he wanted to get the scoop.
Got you.
Yeah. So actually, I take that back. So I get there the night before the pay-per-view.
Okay.
And Dixie arranges a limousine for me to go around Nashville and give out tickets to the show. Me and James Storm.
Okay.
And James didn't want to. He was like, I don't fuck this dude
because he hated your guts. Yeah.
Oh, he really hated my guts. And so we pick him up. He's just like, yeah, I don't watch Survivor. And I'm just like, that's cool. I didn't either before they gave me a lot of money. I was like, I get it. And I was just like, so Dixie gave me like it was either like $400 or $500 to I think it was $500 to go out to pay for me and James Storm's beers and anyone that was hanging out with us and give out tickets.
Got you.
And he was like, "This is all right."
So he's having a good time, but he can't tell you he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The boys are probably what the fuck.
Yeah.
They're ready to kick your ass.
Oh yeah. So I show up the next day. And I get the cold shoulder from everybody, but
I'm sure you do.
Pretty much every single person there except for Shark Boy. And I'm trying to think who I was friends with before then that happened to be there. Dustin Rhodes, I think.
Well, when you showed up, who was all back there? Do you remember that day? Like who you saw that was like, you're like, oh shit, I'm back here with these guys.
Well, I'll get to that. So I get there and Jeff and Dixie come up. They're like, hey, so change of plans. And I was like, yeah. They're like, and Jeff goes, man, you ain't gonna believe this, man. Like Access Hollywood's here, Inside Edition, Entertainment Tonight. They all have cameras here. Like, this is fucking nuts. Like, you need to take a bump.
Oh, dude, wait a second.
That's what I thought.
Months. Yeah, I'm not taking shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. I was like, I need to talk to my manager. And so I had left a message for my manager, and I'm walking around, and everyone there hates me. I mean, everyone. I mean, it is obvious. Everyone hates my guts. And so I talked to my manager about, 20, 30 minutes later or whatever. And she was like, hey, how is it? And I'm just like, it's going to be a long 2 years.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? I'm just like, they fucking leaked out my fucking contract the day before. Everyone here fucking hates my guts because I'm making immensely more than me. And it wasn't like Dixie was like, okay, if we're going to give Johnny this money, sorry, AJ, we're going to have to cut your pay in half. Your pay that stayed the same. No one's pay changed. The only thing hiring me did was raise the bar.
Right. Right.
So the next time your contract's up, it's just like, hey, Jonny Fairplay can't do a fucking 450.
You had the clout. You brought Entertainment Tonight, Access Hollywood. You brought eyes on the product.
Yeah. So
they're not going to see that, though. Yeah, they're not going to see that. Yeah.
So anyway, so she was like, what's the deal? I'm just like, they want me to take a spinning powerbomb. And she goes, I don't even know what a spinning powerbomb is. I'm like, don't look it up. And she was like, well, the answer is fuck no. And I was just like, that would typically be my answer too. I was just like, however, I can't do 2 years of this.
Right.
Like, this was my dream as a little kid, and it has turned into a nightmare within seconds.
Right.
Like it wasn't like maybe they like me, maybe they don't. It was these motherfuckers hate me.
So you're thinking to yourself, yeah, let me just do this.
Yeah. And I'll be fine.
To be cool, but in a way.
And hopefully, prove my key, blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we do the rehearsals, and it's me and Don Callis and AJ and Jeff's there and Red Shirt Security, and we're going over everything. And so I'm AJ, I think AJ has a chair, whatever. Somehow I grab the chair. Okay. Right. And I grab the chair improperly. And Don Callis goes, this fucking guy doesn't even know how to hold a chair. And I fucking beeline that motherfucker out, and I go, I'm not supposed to know how to fucking grab a chair, motherfucker. I'm an outsider.
Exactly. You're from Survivor to most people.
Yes, I know how to fucking grab a chair. But my character wouldn't.
Right. Makes sense.
And Jeff goes, kid's got a point.
Which probably pissed Don off even more.
Oh, that motherfucker hates me to this day. Fuck him.
Does he?
That mother... I have never seen a manager ever do more to put themselves over more than the fucking talent that they fucking represent ever in my entire life in the history of fucking professional wrestling.
Right.
And there's been some shit ass fucking managers.
Right.
So I'm not being a dick. I just call it like I see it.
So. Jeff has a question here. Do all wrestlers get insurance?
No, none.
Individually negotiated. Yeah, I was going to say none of them do. So the fact that you got insurance and they saw that.
Yeah, I don't think a wrestler has ever gotten insurance in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yes,
I don't think so.
So I didn't have my calls. So anyway, comes time for the spot. AJ gets me up. I'm fucking selling like crazy. Stiffs me on the power bomb.
Speaking of that, let me show it to the people.
Oh, here we go.
I want people to see how stiff this power bomb was, and then we have a question.
Hey, but look at the sell job first.
All right, you ready? Okay. Here we go. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, I got a concussion. Legit.
And somebody asked a question here about it. Yeah. CJ said
you see my eyes flutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means concussion, in case
for any of you wondering how that works. Selling, that was real.
Well, I was selling before. That was the cool part. Yeah.
She goes, we need to talk about that special wrestling move, Johnny. And CJ posted a comment when I was promoting the show. She was saying, why doesn't any man do that move to her? And I left it for you to answer.
What move?
The spinning power bomb.
Oh, the spinning power bomb. Yeah, that's a good.
I'm like, listen, CJ, that's a wrestling move, all right? Whatever other moves you want to do, that's up to you to tell your man what to do. But that's a spinning power bomb, and that was the harshest one I've ever seen in my life.
It was stiff. So anyway, I get to the back, and Terry Funk's back there.
Oh, shit.
And Terry Funk goes, God damn, this kid just sold more selling that power bomb than y'all all did all goddamn night. It's like, Terry, you're not helping.
Him crying and helping. Shit. Does he cry like every promo he would cry?
Oh, yeah. Your mother's a whore.
So that probably made you feel really good that Terry Funk, because he's like...
I fucking cried.
He's a legend.
I mean, he's my hero.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, a lot of people leave him off their Mount Rushmore, but like, if he could be there, he could easily be. I mean, like, that motherfucker was more legit than so many. I mean, like, just inside the ring, outside the ring, everything, just perfect.
A perfect legend, and the way, dude, and what he did for the business is is very rare. You know, him and Mick.
Yeah,
Mick
fucking
Foley.
Roadhouse though. Roadhouse, bring it.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. So after that stiff ass powerbomb that concussed you,
Yeah.
how was the run after that? How was your time with TNA?
Everybody was a lot nicer.
They were.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
So
cool with these guys to this day, like AJ?
Oh yeah. Me and AJ, I love him. So he's a good dude. So TNA ends up flying AJ to Los Angeles to hang out with me so that we could become friends.
Really?
Yes. It's insane. So like we hang out for like I think there was like a convention thing, or I don't know, whatever. So they fly AJ out for us to be friends.
Uh-huh.
And so we're hanging out, and AJ's like, we're riding in limousines, and AJ's like, what do you like to do for fun? I'm like, fuck girls, have them put their finger in my butt so I can come too. I don't know. And he's like, what? You have girls put fingers in your butt? I was like, yeah, so I can come. I'm usually too coked up. I don't even know. He's like, what are you talking about? And so
was AJ crazy?
No, AJ's great. He's just a good old
cool
boy.
Dude.
Yeah, very cool. So like the last night there, AJ's last night there, my booking agent, he shares an office with Pauly Shore at the Comedy Store.
Right.
And so I take AJ and Jeremy Borash to the Comedy Store. And so we're hanging out, and Joe Rogan goes on. So we go watch Joe Rogan, and he comes out there, and he goes, and Joe goes, last night was crazy. I'm with this chick, she's 3 knuckles deep with her finger in my asshole. And AJ goes, Fairplay, that's like you. And I'm just like him. I'm like, not all the time, but
once in a while, if you're feeling a little frisky.
Yeah. And he was just like, man, that's not like, I just thought you were like, man, all right. And then Joe is like, let's talk about the Bible, the biggest piece of fiction of all time. And AJ stands up. He goes, now I listen to your butthole stuff, and I laughed, but you ain't talking about the Bible. And he walked out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I just imagine AJ going home like the next day going, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, but what do you think about your finger in my butt?
I mean, you taught him something.
I don't know.
You taught him something.
Yeah. He's a flat earther, so probably not.
Speaking of Joe Rogan, you were also on Fear Factor with him.
Yes.
Right? And we got a question here. Can you tell us about Fear Factor when Joe Rogan almost beat up that guy?
Yeah.
What's she referring to? What happened?
So it was Celebrity Fear Factor. Okay. And it was like Team Survivor versus Team Amazing Race versus Team American Idol versus Team Apprentice versus Team Real World. Okay. And Team Real World was The Miz and Trishelle. And The Miz had just gone down to Deep South, and I hadn't seen him in like 2 months, like, because we used to hang out, prior to him going to Deep South. And he shows up just roided out of his fucking mind.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just like, dude, you're roided. And he goes, I'm not on fucking roids. I'm like, all right, well, there's no telltale signs. Like, this seems like a pretty fair
2 minutes in roid rage.
Fair and evenly matched competition. I have nothing to worry about. So like, I mean, immediately I'm just like, okay, there's no way I'm winning. And plus it was Celebrity Fear Factor. So they're like, hey, it's Celebrity, you guys don't have to eat anything because that's degrading. And I was just like, that's the only shit I can do.
Yeah.
Like, give me a fucking cow dick with fucking Tex Pete. We're good. Like, I ain't trying to do heights. I ain't trying to do any of this other shit. Give me that cow dick, Joe Rogan's.
So you didn't have to eat shit. You
No.
didn't have to eat anything.
No. And that's the only thing I really brought to the table. So,
Yeah.
The first deal was, I think it was like a demolition derby thing.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't lose. And then the next day was what was it? The demolition derby. My hands were duct taped to the steering wheel, and my partner had to change the gears and stuff. And the next one was, all right, so we started, the girls had to go down into a well and grab a skull. And then the guys had to go through quicksand and grab a skull. And then the girls had to go through this tunnel and grab a skull that was beside the tail of an alligator. But the gimmick with the tunnel is the tunnel's so narrow, the alligator can't turn around.
Can't turn.
Yeah. So like, it's pretty, it's it's a mind fuck, but I mean, it's of everything we fucking did, it was by far the easiest because it wasn't really anything physical. You just go grab the fucking thing and go.
And that's it.
So my partner goes first. She gets the skull out of the well, and then I do the quicksand. And I was just like, I wanted to fucking test it. I was just like, there's got to be a gimmick. There's a gimmick to everything. There's a gimmick to like everything's a gimmick. So I'm like, there's got to be a gimmick to this. And I didn't figure out the fucking gimmick on the quicksand. So I'm fucking slow as fuck. And I'm just like, oh, this is fucking horrible. We're doing horrible. But it doesn't matter because there's more teams after me. And, I like to, steal it from a guy that retired, so he's not using it anymore. I am, when it comes to reality TV, I am a cerebral assassin. So I'm like, all right, we're ready. Excuse me. So the team after us is the Amazing Race team, Jonathan Victoria. And on the Amazing Race, he used to scream at his wife. At one checkpoint, he shoved his wife to the ground. He was just like, you fucked this up for us, blah, blah, blah. And so, and I was friends with him. I mean, I used to go to the Playboy Mansion and he's best friends with Hef. So, I'd hang out with Jonathan and Victoria. And so I knew them, but even in real life, like they scream at each other all the time. I mean, they pitched a reality show called The Bickersons, just them screaming at each other. So anyway, so we do the challenge. So, she gets the first skull. He makes it to the quicksand much faster. He figures out the gimmick. I think he went on the outs, whatever. So there was a gimmick that I didn't figure out. So he figured it out. So, or at least better than I did. And then it's time for the tunnel with the alligator. Well, she's freaking out. She's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And she's having a breakdown. And I see it. And I'm just like, here's my spot. like it's time for the hot tag. Let's go, brother. And I go, Jonathan, you deserve better than that. She's the reason you lost the Amazing Race. She's an albatross across your chest. She will not give you the child that you want.
Wow, bro.
And he hears me and screams it back. He goes, Fairplay's right. You are an albatross across my chest. You are the reason we lost the Amazing Race. You are the reason I don't have the child I deserve. And so she loses it. Tears pouring down the face. She goes, that's it. I quit. So then they walk back and she walks up to me, punches me in the stomach. And Joe Rogan goes, whoa, what was that? She goes, did you hear what he said? He goes, it doesn't matter what he fucking said. You can't fucking punch people.
Yeah.
And he goes, look, just because your husband punches you doesn't mean you can punch. And he goes, what did you say? No. And he goes, I said just because you punch your fucking wife doesn't mean she can punch other people. So he gets in Joe's face. Joe gets in his face. Joe takes him down with the front face lock. Boom. It's the Miz has to jump down to fucking break him up. It's pandemonium. Okay. So Here's the beauty of it. Jonathan calls me like 2 hours later and he goes, are you okay? I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I just fucking made a moment, but thank you. I appreciate it. He goes, I just filed assault charges on Joe Rogan. And I was like, oh, cool. Good luck with that. Let me know how it works out.
Yeah.
So then I get a call an hour after that. He goes, so I got a call from NBC. And I was like, yeah. He goes, did you file assault charges on Joe Rogan? And they go, he goes, yeah. And they go, did you tell them what happened? He goes, yeah. Did you break down the activities of the day, like what led to it and all, and describe it in detail? And he goes, yeah, absolutely. They go, well, you're in violation of your confidentiality agreement. We're suing you for $5 million unless you drop the charges immediately.
And that was it.
That was it.
Yeah. There it is. Speaking of slaps and punches, man, I saw that Will Smith slap. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I like Chris Rock. I haven't liked Will Smith in a long time.
I thought it was fucking stupid. I can't believe he did that, honestly.
Yeah. So no, I'm a Chris Rock guy. So and Chris Rock, I'll tell you, here's my big takeaway from it. Chris Rock added a zero to his next Netflix deal.
100%. You see,
who doesn't want to hear those jokes?
They were talking about his show, and the scalpers were making a killing.
Yeah, and he didn't talk about it. Yeah, he's just like, "How's everybody's weekend?"
Yeah. My weekend was great. I'm still processing everything, but dude, he's gonna make a killing on a few. Netflix is gonna throw the kitchen sink at him.
I mean, honestly, he's whatever tour he's on right now. I would just fucking stop it. I would just pause it, sit in a fucking room for 2 weeks, write the fucking jokes, call your fucking friends, call fucking Charlie Murphy, or whoever, call your friends, spice it up, and then just do an impromptu show at a fucking Tuesday night in the round, Madison Square Garden. Boom, done. Netflix, give me whatever number I want.
Done. Netflix will throw it at him. They'll give him whatever he wants.
It will be the most watched comedy thing in the history of comedy.
100%. 100%.
So good for him.
Now I love that.
I would take a slap. I mean, I've taken much worse for less.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he didn't need to. I thought that was fucked up. Yeah. All right. So you have when you're in TNA and you're doing the wrestling thing.
Yeah.
All right. They have, for people who don't know, you have the ring rats.
Yeah.
Right. The women that wait for the wrestlers, they look for the wrestlers, and they, for some fun, for some partying.
Yeah.
Now, ring rats, I don't think they exist that much during this day and age of wrestling, but back then,
I think
they were all over
the
place. You think they're still there, just more low key?
No, I think they're at the hotel.
Really?
I think so.
What about? So I was thinking, all right, so Survivor has to have some. What about the island rats? All right.
Yeah.
Are there island rats?
Oh yeah, but I mean, they're a little higher quality than.
Okay.
I mean,
what was that like for you, man? Because you're a huge star on television.
Yeah.
You're a huge star in TNA now because you're the highest paid in TNA.
Yeah.
What was the party life like for you, man? Take me back to that.
So I was living in LA. And so here's the thing. Prior to me even doing Survivor, like when I first moved to LA, I met this dude named Trey that was friends with the door guy at the Viper Room. And every Monday night was this group called Metal Shop. And then they later became when they left the Viper and they went across, they became Metal School, and then they later became Steel Panther.
Yeah.
Autographed Steel Panther album.
There it is. Vinyl. Gotta make sure it's vinyl.
Oh yeah, I'm a vinyl guy. Vinyl. So that guy ended up running another club. The guy that ran the door at Viper Room on Mondays, he ended up running, I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday night, the Hollywood Canteen. And the Hollywood Canteen was like half indoor, half outdoor, but inside they had like a old air. What are those things called? There's those little cabin trailer things. Airstreams. Had an old Airstream in there, and there was a hookah pipe in there, and people like, I remember going and like he would make Lucy Liu wait in line, to come in here, and like every night we go in and be like Leonardo DiCaprio, Ashton Kutcher. Like I remember, smoking the hookah with like Cottonmouth Kings and Vin Diesel. And P. Diddy had his after Grammy party there one time. I mean, like it was insane. I mean, it was every fucking week. And like I remember one time, so prior to Survivor, I'm Roddy Piper's personal assistant. And so this is pre-Survivor. And I remember Road Warrior Hawk had come into town, and he was just like, if I'm ever in LA, I want to go out to the Ghoul Place. And I'm like, okay. So, and then it sounds a little bit like Macho Man, but they were very, very comparable, I promise. So anyway, so Hawk comes and he's in line, and he'd just flown from Japan, and he had a bandana over his head, and they go, sorry, you can't come in, sir. I mean, because he's got the fanny pack and the fucking bandana, and he goes, I'm friends with Jonny Fairplay. I'm supposed to be here. And they're like, oh, hold on, we'll grab Fairplay. So they go, and they're like, hey, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you ever watch wrestling? He's like, yeah. I'm like, remember Hawk and Animal the Road? They're like, yeah. I'm like, that's him. They're like, are you fucking kidding me? And they're like, dude, are you? He goes, I got
Legion
the
of
shoulder
Doom,
pad.
bro.
I got the shoulder pads in the car. Let's go. And they're like, come on in. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And so we come in and we go, and he was just like, he goes, let's go do some cocaine. And so we go to the bathroom. Oh yeah. So we go to the bathroom, and he blocks the door, and he's sitting there, and he's got fucking coke on like each side. I mean, just his face is covered in blow. I mean, he just grabs the bag, and I go, Hawk, you got a little. It looks like your mom's a baker. I mean, you might. He goes, you might want to clean it off. He goes, no, I'm gonna leave it. Because if they know we do it, maybe they'll give us some. I was like, fair enough. It was nuts. It was fucking nuts. But yeah, post that, I mean, it was just as fucking. I mean, because I'm hanging out. I mean, every Monday night's Joseph's. I'm hanging out with Paris Hilton. Tuesday night is what I mean. Like it was a scene. It was just
a wild ride for you.
It was a very wild ride. I mean, because it was so nuts. I mean, like I remember I went to Fred Durst's birthday party at the whiskey bar.
Okay.
And I mean, there's probably like 20 of us in there, and that was it. It was like me, Fred, Paris, Lindsay. All these people hanging out, and my buddy Burton from my first season of Survivor, he was just like, "Hey, fucker, where are you at?" And I'm like, "I'm at whiskey." He's like, "Who's there?" I'm like, "Well, Paris is sitting right beside me." He's like, "Hey, sexy." He was like, "I'm on my way." And he was like, "Can you get me in?" I'm like, "No." And he was just like, "What do I do?" I'm like, and I'm like tears going down my face. I'm like, "Tell him you're on Survivor." Because I wasn't a guy from Survivor. I was a fucking pop culture thing.
Right.
So I was bigger than Survivor.
Yeah. That's what people remembered.
Yeah.
And they still to this day remember that moment from Survivor.
So it was pretty cool. I mean, it was an insane ride. I mean, like I mean, like every night was insanity. And
how'd you survive?
I left. I would be dead. I would be
dead. I was going to ask you, did you ever OD or anything like that?
No. Like it was crazy because I never did pills. I was never a pill guy. So, and I think that helped. I think because like I remember like Andy Milonakis was just like, I found this guy that's got, he's going to sell me Xanax for like $3 a pill. I'm like, you're on fucking TV, motherfucker. Tell him to give them to you for free. I'm just like, I don't pay for my drugs.
How was it like being the assistant with Piper, man?
It was crazy.
That's incredible. How long were you his assistant for? Like a year?
A year, yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually our expiration dates. Most can't take. See, that was the thing. Like I didn't do pills. I mean, like every morning, like I'd wake like every day. We do like an 8-ball of blow and a fucking quarter of weed. So like we had one of the first.
This was Piper. You and Piper.
Yeah, like one of the first flights after 9/11, we flew from LA to Tampa for the XWF tapings.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I actually got to meet Bobby Heenan. It was
dude. Rest in peace to Bobby Heenan, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's my guy. That's my hero.
One of the greatest of all time. A GOAT, straight up.
Yeah. So but I remember I'm walking down we're going to this buffet, and I'm walking with Bobby. He goes, "You excited about the buffet?" And I'm just like, we'll see. He goes, "I'm going to stick my dick in the butter." And I was like, I go, "No bread for me." He goes, "Oh, just butter?" Who says that?
These dudes are fucking wild, man.
But me and Roddy, as I said, one of the first flights after 9/11, and so we're sitting there, and Roddy has like 4 huge duffel bags. I mean, they don't even make a duffel bag this big anymore. They're literally a body bag. He has 4 body bags.
Okay.
And Roddy has down his pants, he has an ounce of Kind Bud and like 4 8-balls of Coke. like down his underwear.
Christ.
And so we're going through baggage claim. We have first class, so we're skipping some stuff, but still. So we're going through, and the fucking security, the TSA, it shows his steroid needles.
Oh my
God.
God.
And they're just like, they're like, "You can't fly with this." He goes, "I have a fucking prescription for it." And they're just like, you don't have a prescription for steroid needles. You might have a prescription for the steroids, and we're gonna look past that. But and he was like, I'm fucking. And I'm like, Roddy, shut the fuck up. I'm like there's gonna be people there with steroid needles where we're going. So just
sure you'll be able to find them.
Yes, they will be there.
So he has steroid needles in his bags.
Yeah,
he has 8 balls of coke in his pants.
In his underwear,
Jesus Christ,
and an ounce of weed down the front of his pants.
Oh my God!
So anyway, so we land in Tampa, and we're going down the escalator, and there's this is literally days after 9/11, and there's National Guard with M16s in their hand, at the fucking airport, and we're going down the escalator with armed guards, and Greg Valentine is at the bottom of the escalator, and Roddy goes, "Hey, Turtle, catch!" And he pulls out the ounce of weed and fucking throws it to him. And Valentine isn't that fast. That's why we call him Turtle. And he's like, he's fucking crazy. I mean, he was fucking nuts.
Was he like 100 miles an hour every single day? He seems like it.
It was a wild ride. It was a really wild ride. I mean, he.
Do you think that's what killed him, man?
No, I think he just, it was just his time. I mean, he lived he lived more lives than most of us. I mean, like I'm trying to catch up as best I can.
Yeah.
So, but no, he did it all. I mean, the only reason WrestleMania happened is because Cyndi Lauper and Dave Wolf loved Roddy Piper. They were hanging out with him at Studio 54. They hated Hulk Hogan. They're like the muscle guy with no personality. We like this guy. We like the bad guy.
Really?
So that's why WrestleMania, the brawl to sell it all and the war to sell the score. That's what led to Mania. So, but that was all because Roddy was hanging out in New York at Studio 54 with Cyndi Lauper and Dave Wolf.
Wow. Roddy Piper, honestly, to this day is on people's Mount Rushmore. You're talking about Mount Rushmores, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, my kid's name is Piper.
There you go. What's your Mount Rushmore?
It's tough.
It is very tough.
I mean, I say Terry Funk and I want to put him there, but there might be an asterisk, but so, I think the let's go Mount Rushmore of heels.
All right, let's do that.
Okay. Mount Rushmore of heels, Flair, Piper, Funk, Taker.
Okay.
It's hard to argue it. I mean, I don't love it. I was never a huge Taker fan, and then but now I go back and watch, and I'm just like, damn, that dude's so cool.
I mean, when you look back on his career and you see how long he kept that character going,
for
decades. I mean, you can only just respect him for it.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't like the guy, you got to give him
I was
props.
I was never a Taker guy, but hold on, let me think. Yeah.
I mean, you got to put you're putting Piper up there, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Flair, Piper, Funk. I don't know. The fourth one's tough.
Put Taker. I mean, we could throw a manager in there, Heenan.
Ooh, there you go, Heenan. That's my number.
Put Heenan in there. All right, we got it. We got the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
So, as people see, you're a huge wrestling fan. You've loved wrestling. You still love it to this day. You still watch. You still watch the product. You still watch WWE.
Sure. I'll be on Monday. Monday after Mania, I'll be on with Jason Powell, ProWrestling.net, the Pro Wrestling Boom podcast.
Okay.
I join Jason Powell every Monday after a WWE pay-per-view or AEW pay-per-view.
Nice.
So, and then let's see, 2 weeks ago, I was at Revolution Wrestling Authority in High Point, North Carolina. I'm the heel commentator there. And
oh, good. So you're still involved with the
yeah.
show too.
I'm where am I coming up next? What's my next wrestling? I took a picture, so I had it. So
let people know where you're going to be.
Magic City Wrestling Federation, April 30th at Opelika, Florida. It is they got Top Dollar is going to be there, Connor the Ascension, Carlito, and
nice.
the Colognes. And a bunch a bunch of people. So go to magiccitywrestling.com and join me April 30th there. And then I'm going to be at that Heroes and Legends deal in Indiana.
Yeah.
That's next week, and then I'm at something in Kentucky.
Oh, so you're busy, bro.
Dude, I do live Survivor viewing parties, like when Survivor's on. So this Wednesday I'm in DC, and then on 420 I'm in Nashville. Go to survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. It's like me, Taj George, the the group SWV, that song I Get So Weak in the Knees.
Yeah.
Grammy Award winner. Well, Taj was on Survivor. So she's going to be there, and 3 other survivors going to be there.
Shout out to Taj. Yeah, I love Taj. She's
she's married to Eddie George.
Eddie George. Shout out to Taj, bro. Boom. You know what's crazy? I went on this, Johnny, like Survivor binge, because now every single episode ever is on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm up to season 18. I just finished the Taj season.
Oh, there you go.
And
she's great.
It's incredible. It's incredible how obsessed you get with it. I gotta stop.
Yeah. So no, she's awesome. So she'll be there on 420, and cool. I got a pretty big comedian that's gonna be stopping by. I can't advertise, but he's a
Chris Rock. Shout out, that's great.
Shout out to Chris Rock. He's not gonna be there, but this guy is just about as big. I mean, like prior to this week, this guy was just as big as Chris Rock.
Okay.
Who's stopping by. So
we can't say nothing. We got to keep that.
Oh, yeah, I guess. So, yeah, survivortix.com. Get your tickets. And then I think the next week I'm in Durham, North Carolina. And then I have my own beer coming out on
get the hell out of here, bro.
3 Notch Brewery. They're doing Jonny Fairplay, and that releases on May. I mean, it's fucking insane.
When are your own condoms coming out? When's that coming?
May 11th. My Jonny Fairplay comes out in Charlottesville, Virginia, and then May 18th I have Juicy Fairplay IPA in New Jersey at Borneo's, or I don't know, somewhere in New Jersey. Anyway, it's follow my social media at Jonny Fairplay. I post everything, but yeah, no, it's not. I mean, I cannot believe the ride,
dude. And we didn't even scratch the surface.
We did not.
With what you've done. But
I mean, I've done 80 plus television shows,
dude.
80
and
plus.
You know what, since you've done that, you know what you deserve. Honestly, I have something special for you. I know being on Survivor, you don't get to take a lot of baths.
Sure.
And I know since you've come home, you've taken baths and showers, but I don't think you've taken the bath.
Oh,
all right. Shout out to our sponsor, Jack Soaps. I'm going to send you something, John.
Oh!
All right. This is my own bath bomb. It's called the Vegas.
Oh!
All right. And this is coconut.
Okay.
Drop it in your bath.
Yeah, we have a lot of coconut on the island.
All right. Yeah, exactly.
Bring me back home.
I want you to feel like you're back there.
Yeah.
I'm going to send this to you.
All right.
I'm going to send you a couple bars of soap that I have.
Oh, sweet.
And it's all, natural ingredients, none of that stupid shit that you get in the bath gel. This is good shit. All right. So I'm going to send it to you. So you give me your P.O. box or whatever.
Sure.
And Jack Soaps, like I said, is our sponsor. You can go to jacksoaps.com, use code PTM, and you get 15% off your purchase of any soap, bath bomb, and bath salts as well. So thank you to Jack Soaps.
Thank you, Jack Soaps. And thank you, Vinny Vegas.
Johnny, I want you to take a nice bath and let me know what you think of it, man. Because
I'm not sending pics.
I mean, I do need proof.
Yeah,
that you use the bath bomb, Johnny.
I do. It's we have so I have a podcast network, Reality NSFW.
Okay.
And so check youtube.com/reality NSFW. Not safe for work. And or just go to realitynsfw.com for the.
And it's all about reality TV shows.
It's all about So right now we're currently covering Big Brother Canada season 10, Australian Survivor, Blood versus Water, and of course Survivor season 42, and then
which I'm watching, by the way.
Deep dive episodes on that. And so we're stoked. So, but one of our sponsors is Blue Chew.
Oh, and that's a good one.
And my co-host Matt Bischoff, who was on Survivor, Caramoan. Have you got to that? Is that one coming up next for you?
Or I don't know what season it is. I'm going.
Caramoan is fans versus favorites 2.
I did not hit that yet.
Okay.
This is not that one.
Okay, well, you'll see a guy with a long beard. That's my co-host Matt Bischoff from Survivor.
Okay.
And so whenever I do the promo for BlueChew.com, promo code Survivor, whenever we read the ad, I go and hey, get yourself a super hard dick and send those pics to @Matt Bischoff on all social media. He loves it. Just send those super hard dick pics, just so and he's like, no,
I don't want them.
Yeah, guess what? They do.
I'm telling you. Listen, Johnny.
They send the pics.
I don't need a dick pic, but listen, maybe some bubbles.
Okay.
Have the curly hair.
I'll see if I can work in some bubbles.
Jack soaps. All right. Hold the bar of soap up for me.
Sure.
Maybe for my desktop wallpaper.
There you go. Love it.
I won't send it to the company at all, just for me.
Yes.
But and there he is, the owner. Johnny says, Johnny deserves the best. I got you.
Oh,
so,
tremendous.
Take care of you. So,
tremendous.
And this guy says, wash your ass. This soap saves marriages, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, my God. I'll eat a butthole in a heartbeat.
Dude, listen, everyone, you need to follow.
We've learned anything this episode.
We've learned a lot about drugs and assholes. So thank you for teaching us the ways of entering the ass.
You're welcome. Lube.
and thank you for pounding the meat, Johnny. Johnny, where can people get you on social media?
Yeah, just at Jonny Fairplay, just as I have here. On,
no H.
No H in Johnny. And just Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So and that's it. And then what code
can they use for the Blue Chew? The stuff that Power Bomb took.
Oh, well, here's the deal. So my promo code for everything, like whether it's Blue Chew or Magic Spoon, all of it's Survivor. And Survivor hit me up. They're just like, hey, or CBS hit me up, CBS Legal, and they're just like, hey, can you tell them to not use promo code Survivor? Like, we don't. And I'm just like, it's not me, it's them. Like I don't have anything. I don't have anything to do with it, and it's all me. They come in, they're like, what promo? I'm like, I want Survivor, absolutely. And they're like, it's 100% me. So, yes.
Still a heel to this day, man.
Still a fucking heel,
bro. You're gonna be on that Mount Rushmore soon, man.
Oh, I'm trying. I'm a Survivor Hall of Famer. I think there's only like 13 of us. Dude. So that's pretty good. Out of 600 survivors, it's a good number.
I'll take it.
So and then on my Judge Steve Harvey deal the other night, fucking Scott Steiner called me a bitch. So and
I saw that.
Yeah, that's great.
Dude, you better fight his ass. You fighting him?
No. We're good.
Come on, bro. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, by the way, WWE.
I know. I saw it. What great timing for Scotty.
Right? Yeah. And great timing for you. I mean, everything. Yo, the stars are aligning, Johnny.
They are,
and now you got a beautiful bath bomb called the Vegas. You're going to smell like coconuts.
I love it.
And you're going to look like a king.
Well, I mean.
And you're going to send me that dick pic. Right?
What just happened?
Pounding the meat. What are you going to do?
Okay.
Johnny, thank you so much for being on Pounding the Meat. For pounding the meat with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I hope people join me in Nashville and Durham and all the other places. For those, go to survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. Join me. Get yourself Cameo, cameo.com/Jonny Fairplay. And become a patron. I have my Patreon. So I do a weekly Q&A, and I say a lot of shit I shouldn't say. I mean, like big time shit I shouldn't say. I mean,
Patreon?
Yeah, on my Patreon. So that's it's at adfreensfw.com. And we have different tiers where you can get like autographed Survivor picks, autographed buffs and stuff like that. But here's the deal. If you try it and you don't like it, I'll send your money back. I don't have one single person that's being held hostage because we got like a private secret like Facebook group, and it's just like really cool, like beyond blessed. But yeah, try it for a month, adfreensfw.com. We're covering Australian Survivor from 2019, and then we do like watch alongs from previous seasons. I have Pearl Islands with Sandra on, Andrew Savage, my arch enemy, is on there. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. That's
great. Yeah. If you guys watch Survivor, I mean, and you want the ins and outs of what's going on and what was happening, there you go.
On my weekly Q&A, I typically get at least one wrestling question, and they're just like, dude, like, who did you fuck? And I'm like, well, let's start with.
Before we go, Johnny.
Yeah.
Give me a number.
Sure.
What's the number of rats?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, over 1,000.
Holy shit, dude.
Listen.
That Blue Chew could have come in handy.
I didn't need it. Because
you're a fucking king.
That's why, dude. Like God has been so kind to me, like in every possible way. So no, I mean, like, fuck, like post Survivor, like I'm fucking banging every major reality chick out there. Fucking
Oh.
Mary Carey, the porn star that ran for governor. Fucking
What the fuck?
like you fucking. So most nights bringing home 3 to 6 girls. It's nuts. I mean, I just like,
How do you still work?
They were fucking like it was like a locomotive fucking doing lines off buttholes. It was fucking
How
nuts.
do you work? How do you still function?
I just did it. Like I'm you know, like I've led so many different lives. I mean, like now, you know, I'm just a dad that, you know, like COVID started and I'm just like, you know what my dream car is? A 1974 Volkswagen Thing convertible. I'm like, so let me just go buy my dream car. So
Yeah.
so now like I go to like minor league baseball games, like, you know, when I'm not fucking, you know, watching Survivor or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. But, you know, I'm going to minor league baseball games, hanging
You're
out
a
with
family
fam.
dad now. I
Yeah,
mean,
I got-
kind of, you know,
I got Stern pinball table. I got Batman and Avengers pinball behind
got a
me.
little
You
pool
know,
table, hang
yeah, this
out.
is my studio. Like right there's 2,000 records. I have like a rack like a fucking record store has.
See,
It's fucking nuts.
you had a great life. You still life's still going for you, man. You're blessed.
No,
You know?
well, I had a survive. I don't want to because you're watching episodically, so I don't want to ruin it. But I had a winner come to
Hey,
my
don't tell me
house.
who wins. Don't tell me who wins.
Yeah. So I had a winner come to my house 2 weeks ago, and he goes, "You know you won Survivor, right?" And I'm like, "Did I?" He goes, "Dude, I fucking won, and I'm telling you, you fucking won Survivor."
That's the thing. You know, a lot of the winners, you don't even hear about them anymore.
Yeah, and they don't have anything. I mean,
Yeah,
like
They don't do
I mean,
nothing.
like go do a search. You know, reality NSFW. Search youtube.com/reality NSFW. Search the Fabio podcast. It's the
Mhm.
saddest thing you'll ever hear in your entire life,
Really?
ever. So that's my favorite podcast that I've ever done. So, and I don't even think I used the word survivor in the entire thing.
I'll have to check that out.
It's I mean, like you're sitting there listening to the story, and you're just like, holy
Oh,
shit! So, but I do that when I have people on. I mean, like I'm a little different with my Australian coverage, you know, because we were talking a little more, you know, game and stuff. But like I have so many friends in the Survivor community that like when I do an interview with them, you know, like there's 100 fucking Survivor interviews out there with these assholes. You know,
Right.
like if you want to hear it, like that's there.
right.
So like you know, I'm just like, remember when you got fucked up and
But
fucked that?
you were in it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's different when you
Yeah.
were in it. And you're
Yeah, but I'll be like,
interviewing.
I'm like, remember when you fucked that little person? And they're like, dude.
That's why it's on Patreon.
So there you go.
Right.
Ad free NSFW.com.
AdFreeNSFW.com. Johnny, you're the fucking man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and pounding the meat, man.
Thank you.
Guys, follow him on all the socials, and we will see you next week for Culture Shock Live. Thanks for watching Pounding the Meat and engaging with us, and we will see you next week. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at the Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Hannibal TV.